Y'all, you may get tired of it, but I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I just gotta keep talking about the goodness of God, the goodness of this presence, this goodness of its essence, the goodness of its promises, the goodness of its faithfulness, the goodness of its availability, the goodness of its grace, the goodness of its promises, the goodness of its purpose, the goodness of his word, the goodness that God never misses, the goodness that God never not show up, the goodness of his silence, the goodness that's in the chaos, the goodness that's even in the so-called storm, the goodness that's in the trials, the goodness that's in the tribulations, the goodness that's in the goodness that's in the heaviness, the goodness that's in it, because the goodness is evidence that God can never leave you and never forsake you. The goodness that you're bulletproof, the goodness that your presence is the very confirmation that God can never lose and God can never miss and God can never not show up. The goodness of that. The goodness that keeps saying that God will continually will always make a way. The goodness in a place that you just know God is so good, you just can't give up. The goodness that God is so good, you just can't give in. The goodness that God is so good, you cannot not just speak of his goodness. The goodness in is this, you cannot just not want to allow God to express his glory through every area of your life. And it's in your back, it don't even have to be up against the wall for you just to say how good God has been to you. Because you can remember when nothing ever made sense, when nothing ever made like logically sense. But you know, every delay made your faith grow. Every delay showed you that God is going to show up for you, even when you thought nothing else would show up for you. I just can't stop talking about the goodness. And I told this presence, you just keep reminding me how good you are to me, and how available you are to me, and how present you are to me, and how faithful you are to me. God, I'm going to keep showing up, and I'm going to keep talking about your goodness. Yes, God, and the lower part of me wants to say, you know they're going to get tired of you, and my higher self said, I don't care. I don't care, because you're not there for validation. You're not there for their confirmation. You're not there for their approval. You're there to remind somebody, and not just somebody, you too, how good God is and how available God is in you, and to remind them that there's awareness about themselves and there's a consciousness about who they are, that you will begin to watch blessings find their way to you, and you will find a space in your heart to remind yourself, okay, God, here I am. Okay, God, what are you about to do? Okay, God, I'm ready for you to show up. Okay, God, I just surrender this to you. That's just how good God is and has been to me. And I just can't stop talking about his goodness. When God said, worship me in spirit and truth, God said, watch me prove myself. Watch me prove myself. You don't even have to understand it, but watch me prove myself to you. Just don't give up on me. Just don't give in to the lies and to the distractions. Just keep going. Even on the days where it don't make sense, just keep going, and you're going to be bulletproof, and you're going to be the proof that God said what God said is going to do in lives of the people. So I believe it. I believe it. When the situation come and say, and when the hardest situations come up and say this or say that, that is the confirmation. Say, God said, now what you going to say? What you going to do? How you going to say it. And don't care what nobody else say it. So watch you come up faster than what others think that you cannot. God is proof to you guys. And if you listen to that, you're proof that God said what he said about your life. Have a good one. Until next time, it's me, God. Have a great one.